Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us here for KREM News First at 4. I'm Whitney Ward. We begin right now with breaking news out of central Washington. There are level 3 leave right now evacuations in place for homes in the Soap Creek area near Moses Lake. This is because of a fast-moving wildfire. According to the Grant County Sheriff's Office, that fire is burning off of State Route 28. Again, this is right near Soap Lake. The Department of Natural Resources says it's about 6 miles west of Moses Lake. Take a look at the map so you can see where exactly you're looking. Here are the areas that are under evacuation. It's in that shaded area right now. Adrian Road between State Route 28 and Road 20 Northeast. This is east of Soap Lake. If you live in any of these areas, you need to leave right now. Again, this is a fast-moving wildfire. Level 3 evacuations are in place. Officers say they are going door to door right now to notify people. If you are in that area, again, in that evacuation zone, you need to be leaving right now. And if you're just outside of that area, you need to be making a plan and getting ready to go if that order does start to include you. Right now, joining us on the phone, we have Kyle Foreman from the Grant County Sheriff's Office with more about what we know about this fire right now. Kyle, thank you so much for making yourself available. We appreciate it. I know it's kind of a hectic time for you guys. What can you tell us right now about the fire, how it's moving, and how the wind is complicating things for you?
Hi, Whitney. I'm at the Emergency Operations Center in Ephrata, where we are working on several different incidents simultaneously. I'll start in the order of the ones that have the most life threat. So the first one is the wildfire you just mentioned, which is along State Route 28, east of Soap Lake. Level 3 evacuation in place for Adrian Road south of State Route 28 all the way to Road 20. Also, the 21,000 block of Road D.5 Northeast, Road D.5 Northeast, and Road 20.6 Northeast, and Road D.5 Northeast and Road 20.7 Northeast. That impacts 15 to 20 homes in that area. The firefight has been compounded by high winds, dry fuel on the ground, steep conditions, and due to several wildfires we've had in Grant County throughout the day, very limited resources locally. The second incident, which just started about 45 minutes ago, is an evacuation of Cooley Medical Center in Grand Coulee. That's impacting about 25 people who were in the hospital. That's due to a gas leak at the hospital. There are several ambulances en route to assist with the evacuation of Cooley Community Hospital, or Cooley Medical Center, rather. The next fire is burning north of Quincy, along Road 14 Northwest near Road M.5 Northwest. That's about 300 acres and growing. And then there's been a couple other fires which happened earlier. And those couple other fires that I mentioned were impacted negatively, caused a negative impact on the initial attack on the other fires because of the resources that were committed to the earlier wildfires. So right now we have resources still fighting the fire along State Route 28 east of Soap Lake, firefighting resources on Road 14 Northwest near Quincy, and then ambulance resources heading to Cooley Medical Center to help with the evacuation due to a gas leak at the hospital. Whitney.
Goodness, I can't imagine. Is this a situation where you are starting to ask for help from neighboring jurisdictions or potentially asking for a state mobilization just to make sure you have resources available?
So we are working on that right now, working with the incident commanders to get some processes in place and seek out additional resources from neighboring jurisdictions. But right now, it appears that we have all fire resources in Grant County committed to fighting large wildfires, and ambulance resources going to assist up in Grand Coulee.
As we take a look at those 3 different incidents that you were talking about, if we go to the first incident, that first wildfire there, how many homes are threatened in that evacuation area that we know of right now that are under that level 3 evacuation order?
So level 3 evacuation for the fire, which is east of Soap Lake, impacts, we believe, 25 to 30 homes. The one in the Quincy area was only a handful of homes, and deputies went door to door to notify the residents to evacuate there. The other fires, which were earlier, did not pose any evacuations.
Do we have any kind of estimated acreage yet, or thoughts of how quickly this is spreading and how much acreage it could cover?
So we have high winds, dry fuel, rocky terrain, and limited resources. So the fire north of Quincy was estimated, and this is about 45 minutes ago, with the last estimate at about 300 acres. The one east of Soap Lake has got to be at least 300 acres by now, judging by where the fire initially started and where we are issuing level 3 evacuations. It has to be at least 300 acres as well.
Do we know, are either of these fires moving toward population centers? Are you concerned about the direction they're going?
The one near Soap Lake is impacted. The areas that are under direct threat right now have been evacuated. If it continues on the path that's going, there will be, it's sparsely populated, not a large population density, but certainly ones that we would be concerned about. The one near Quincy, 300 acres with just a handful of residents, they've all been notified, and if it extends beyond into, it would be moving north into Douglas County. That's very sparsely populated up that way.
Do you expect that people who are outside of that immediate evacuation area that is kind of shaded on our map that we're showing to people right now, do those people need to be concerned that that evacuation area could expand?
So they need to be concerned that the evacuation area may expand. If they're in an area right now that's not under a level 2 or level 3 evacuation notice, level 2 meaning get ready to go and level 3 meaning go, they need to pay attention and maintain their situational awareness in case the fire gets worse. We need to make sure that they're ready to go at the moment's notice.
Anything else that you think people need to understand about this, very quickly developing situation there? 3 different situations actually in Grant County tonight.
We still encourage people. We know we have a holiday weekend coming up, which involves fireworks. We need people to remain very, very careful with their fireworks, not cause any accidents like this. Too early to know whether any of these fires were caused by fireworks, so I don't want to speculate on that. But what we see right now, with the conditions of the high winds, the super dry fuel we have on the ground, and the hot conditions outside, fires spread very quickly, so everyone needs to do their part to make sure fires don't happen at all.
I just quickly want to expand on that because we have had this kind of strange, wet, cool spring, but this is an indicator of how quickly things have already dried out in your area, right?
Yeah, the moisture we had just made the fuels grow taller. They're much taller than we usually see, and then the hot weather, of course, is drying them out, so we have a very high fuel load on the ground. Makes it very difficult to fight wildfires when the fuels are that high, and then you add the wind through the Columbia Basin like we have often, and that just compounds the problem.
All right, Kyle Foreman there at Grant County Emergency Management this evening. Thank you very much for your time, and we will certainly be checking back in with you throughout the evening. Again, Kyle Foreman, thank you so much.